Hey guys, it's Jordy Builds back in another video. I'm super excited. Today we're going to be starting my personal MX500 build. We have a bunch of parts for the bike. So the build is going to be broken up into a couple different parts. This first part today we're going to be working on the wheels, suspension, and brakes, as well as I do have a set of plastics to put on it. The other videos are going to consist of the motor, controller, battery, as well as I have a brand new set of CRF50 plastics with the tank that we're going to be doing a separate video on as well. But for today, we're going to go over all these parts that we have now. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. We have a D&M air shock. I've heard that this is super comfy, so I will leave a link to everything I use down in the description. Some of them might be Amazon affiliate links, so I just want to mention that. I will get a small commission for anything bought through the links. All of that is going to go right back into the channel, but nonetheless, let's get into the other parts. Next part is this full hydraulic rear brake. Let's see if we can get it out a little bit here. So you guys can see that there. I've used this a time or two on a couple other bikes now, especially a customer's bike, and he really likes it as well. So I'm super excited to get this on the bike. I'm sure you guys saw we were going to be going with the RSF 650 wheels. These look really great on the bike and they ride super smooth, so these are going to be awesome. In here we have front forks for the MX500, and in here we have the clamps for the forks, or the triple trees. These are from Curb Hopper and these are from Amazon. I will leave links, like I said, to everything down below, so you can find all of that in the description. First thing I want to do is get these front forks on, so let's go ahead and get this unboxed and get our forks and wheel on. Looks super sick. Big shout out to Brady for these clamps. He went through a lot of work to get these made for the community, and these are the best clamps on the market, I believe. So you can see, got some hardware there. All the rest of the hardware is in the bottom of the bag. Everything is nice and divvied out into individual bags. That's super nice. There we go. Let's get these on the bike. Super nice clamps. These are awesome. Second clamp looks just as good. Here we have the top clamp here and the bottom clamp. So the way that they go on is going to be just like so. And you're going to have your bolt that he sends you, along with the washer that he sends you, and then it's going to go through the clamp. You're going to have to make sure you have your stock reducer bushings in here, as well as the one in the bottom, and then just same thing on the bottom, clamp, washer, and the nut. Alright, we're going to go ahead and start our clamp bolts here. We're going to be using some blue Loctite. It is recommended from Brady that you use Loctite on all your bolts. From the bottom up, just like that. Just like that, we got the clamps and forks on. Let's go ahead and see if we can space out our wheel. So the spacer on the left side, or the opposite of the brake side, is going to be 0.29 inches, and then the other spacer that Brady sends with the kit is 0.54 inches. So this is how it's going to be set up on the fork, just like this. I will recommend getting the extended axle, because using the stock axle, it is a little short for these forks. It's getting dark out, so tomorrow we're going to go to the hardware store, pick up some M6 bolts to put on the front tube cover, and then I'm undecided on the front fender, but we will probably go ahead and throw it on. Brady does include a bolt to get it on his clamps, so we'll see what that looks like tomorrow. Also, I wanted to mention, for the time being, I'm not going to worry about front brakes. I have some pretty beefy rear brakes, so another video we will worry about the front brakes. So for the fork tube covers, we picked up some 6mm lock washers and flat washers, and we also picked up some 6x1 x 16mm machine screws. So now we're going to go ahead and install the front fender with the bolt that is supplied. Just like that, we got the front fender on. I think it looks all right. Let's go ahead and get the handlebars on. Got them on there. They look good. When I was originally taking off the swing arm, this bushing here that goes into the actual frame itself broke. So I had to 3D print me a couple. But now that we got these done, we can get the shock on as well as our swing arm and our rear wheel. So let's go ahead and do that now. This is something I'm hoping to have available on my website at some point, just in case you guys run into the same problem. Now we're going to be working on installing our 190mm D&M air shock. The stock hardware that I had with the original shock is no good, so I went and picked up some new hardware. So let's slap this bad boy on. Alright, we got the top bolt set up. Let's go ahead and get our bottom one up. We got our shock mounted. It looks really good. I like that a lot. Now that we got this shock on, we're going to go ahead and throw our rear wheel on, and then we'll work on our brake setup. So if you're planning to run this brake like I am, you're going to want to swap your disc to a 140mm stock disc. The 160mm is just a tad too big, but the 140mm works great. So we're going to get this swapped, and then we'll get our brake on. Boom, just like that, we got the rear wheel on. Looks good, it spins really well. Alright guys, we got the rear wheel on and the shock as well as the front forks. Looks super good. Like I said, I do have a brand new set of black CRF50 plastics, so we're going to be doing a separate video on that. For now, I'm going to use my old plastics that were originally on this bike before we started to rebuild it. And check out how good this looks. I really like this color combo. It's almost like the logo colors. Something about like that. I think it looks really sick, really good. So now let's get our brake installed. So for installing this brake, if we were to install it now like this, our line would be facing backwards. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and install it and then slightly turn this nut just enough to where we can rotate the line 180 degrees, and then we'll run our line and put on our handle. Alright, so it's a 10mm. We're going to go ahead and loosen it just enough to rotate the line. You may still have to bleed your brake, but the goal is to not have to bleed it again. Alright, we're getting somewhere. Just trying to keep it tight so we don't have to re-bleed it. Alright, that'll work. Now we're going to tighten it back down. Boom, we should be good. Now let's run our line and get our handle on. Boom, just like that. Alright, let's check out this brake. Stops on a dime. I like this brake a lot. You guys can see the handle here. We're going to run our line probably under the plastics, but I like this brake a lot. Works really well, especially for a stock swing arm and stock rotor setup. Alright guys, that's going to be it for part one of the MX500 build. We got our RSF 650 wheels on, our rear brake on, plastics from our old bike, as well as our front and rear suspension. So I'm super happy with the bike so far. I think it looks really good. It definitely lifts the bike up quite a bit. I'd say at least 2 inches, 2-3 inches for sure. We're obviously going to be doing our throttle, motor, controller, and possibly battery in the next video. I think we're going to start out at 48 volt and then go to 72 volt. So I think that's the plan. I appreciate you guys watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe with the bell notifications on. I'll see you guys next time, and have a great day.